Difficult conversations are hard enough, but when English isn't your first language and the pressure is high, it's even harder. In this video, I'll show you how to stay calm, speak clearly, and handle very difficult conversations in English without shutting down, rambling, or losing your confidence. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Frustrated to Fluent. I'm Devin Bruce. I'm the founder and CEO of the English Communication Academy, and we help non-native English speakers in healthcare communicate effectively with their patients, colleagues, and staff. Today, I want to talk about how to handle difficult conversations in English because, as you know, in healthcare, difficult conversations are everywhere. Everything from giving feedback to giving someone a diagnosis or giving someone bad news. It will leave even the most fluent English speakers second guessing themselves and also second guessing every other word. Here are some reasons why handling difficult conversations in English are very tough. First of all, it's not just the language that you're dealing with. It's the emotional weight of the conversation. If you are giving someone a diagnosis, not only are you dealing with the emotions of that, but you're also thinking about the language itself. And so that's an extra layer. Not only are you managing emotions, like I said, but you're also grammaring things like tone and pacing and grammar. If you're in the middle of giving someone a diagnosis and then you're making sure, okay, is my pacing is correct? Did I say the right word? Am I sounding confident? That's going around in your head while you're giving a diagnosis. That's really tough. And then when you have cultural differences on top of that, plus the fear of being misunderstood, that could lead to total overwhelm very quickly. And then when that happens, unfortunately, many fluent professionals start overthinking, over apologizing, or even avoiding the conversation completely if they can. So the best way to handle this is to simplify it as much as possible. And to simplify this, difficult conversations require three things. It requires clarity, calm, and compassion. Let's break each one of those down. Clarity is referring to saying what you mean in short, direct language. You're not overthinking it. You're not vomiting out a bunch of words. It's very clear and it's very direct. You don't soften it too much and you don't use vague phrases. Something like this, you could say, I'd like to talk through something that's been on my mind, or I'd like to discuss this. The second part is calm. That's grounding your voice before you speak, slowing down your delivery, making sure you're not rushing. Also, if your heart is racing or if you're feeling very anxious, breathing before you continue. And the third part is compassion. Your tone matters as much as your words. I'll say that again. In English, your tone matters just as much as your words. It can validate feelings while staying very clear, saying something like, I can see how that may have been frustrating. Here's what I'd like to clarify. If you have all three of those components in a very difficult conversation, it's going to make the conversation flow much easier. Here are some practical phrases for very difficult conversations. If you want to start the conversation, you can say something like, can we take a moment to discuss something important? Or there's something that I'd like to discuss with you. Or there's something that I want to talk to you about. When you're managing misunderstandings, you could say something like, here's what I meant to say. Let me clarify that. Let me make sure that I'm understanding you correctly. And if you're trying to de-escalate something, you can say something like, let's focus on what we can do next. I appreciate your patience as we sort this out. When you have these phrases ready, your brain doesn't have to scramble under pressure. And one final thing when talking about difficult conversations doesn't mean dangerous. Let me explain. Many fluent speakers in healthcare avoid very difficult conversations because they want to protect their image or avoid discomfort. But here's the thing. Silence leads to misunderstandings. Misunderstandings leads to missed opportunities. Missed opportunities leads to broken trust. And then, like I always say, when there's no trust, all is lost. But remember, speaking up and having these difficult conversations, it's not just a language skill, it's a leadership skill. You're also not being rude. You're being very responsible. All right, so if this video helped you, please hit like and subscribe. I post weekly videos to help fluent professionals speak clearly in healthcare, especially in high-stakes situations. And if you want real-world fluency, I have a free 5-day challenge. It's to help you increase your fluency level in a very short period of time. If you're interested in taking that, the link is in the description box below. And if you are enjoying these videos, check out these others. They'll help you too. All right, so that's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Take care.